Hello everybody, welcome to a teaser edition of Boxing During Dinner. This is episode 39 and a half, technically. We weren't able to get you a full episode this week because Armando and Alex are actually getting ready for the Super Bowl in Indianapolis. Must be nice, right, to have jobs like that? I am dressed in traditional winter garb, snow cap and hoodie because it is still cold in New York. But I will be giving you guys a special treat for the next 2 weeks, something for you to look forward to. But let's get right to what we're talking about this week. This coming weekend's fights are Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in a main event against Marco Antonio Rubio, and on the undercard, a feature fight that I think might steal the show, which is Nonito Donaire versus Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. My prediction for this fight is that Nonito Donaire is on a level that is a little bit above Vazquez Jr., and that's not to take anything away from him. Vazquez Jr. to me is an excellent talent, but unfortunately is probably just going to be a step below, a step too slow when he steps into the ring against Donaire, who I do believe is an elite talent. I don't see either of these guys getting knocked out. I think it's going to be a slugfest at many points with Vazquez making people wonder, is Donaire really as good as we thought he was? But in the end, I expect Donaire to come out with a close but unanimous decision victory in this fight. And then in the main event, I think that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is in for the fight of his career up to this point. But what's being lost upon many, and I know everybody wants to cast this this haze over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. as just the second, in the family. He's not the legend himself. He's just the son of the legend. But what's been lost in this is that he's made a very quick, good progression under Freddie Roach, and I believe that Chavez is going to win this fight. He'll probably impress a lot of people, but don't be surprised if Marco Antonio Rubio comes out knowing that in Texas he has to deliver a knockout. He will not win a decision, and we might be in for a slugfest in the main event. 2 fights this weekend that I'm very excited for. Armando, what are you thinking?
Well, David, before I tell you my predictions for this weekend's fights, we want to express our condolences to the family of Angelo Dundee, a boxing legend who passed away this week. Angelo was a great trainer of Muhammad Ali, trained many fighters, Jose Napoles, Sugar Ray Leonard, among others. He will be missed. He was a really nice man. We'll have more on Angelo next week. And also, referee Wayne Kelly from New York, he refereed the first Galata Bow fight, which, I mean, it was an infamous fight. And Wayne Kelly passed away this week, too, of a heart attack. So condolences to his family as well. But David, no, I'm not in Indianapolis. I'm in Miami. You have me confused with the man behind the camera who was in Indianapolis eating the best meatloaf in the world at Weber Grill. They're not paying us to say that, man. It's that freaking good. But as far as predictions for this weekend, David, I agree with you on both fights. I do think the Nonito Donaire fight against Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. may end by TKO late in the fight. I think Donaire wins. Not a knock on Vazquez Jr. He's taking a big risk in this fight, fighting one of the elite fighters in boxing. And if he does pull out the win, it does wonders for him. He becomes an overnight superstar in boxing. As far as that Twitter war between the wives, that's some funny stuff. But the fight takes place in the ring. And as far as Chavez, David, I think Chavez wins this fight by TKO late in the fight as well. I think Chavez is a talent. I think he's improved with each fight. Everybody likes to knock him because he is a son of El Gran Campeón Mexicano, but he's a good fighter in his own right. And Marco Antonio Rubio, he's good too, not to be confused with Marco Rubio, the senator from Florida. He's a good fighter. He's going to give him hell, but I think Chavez at the end pulls it off, David. And I like your opinions, and I'm sure you're going to agree with mine as well.
Perfect. And you heard it right there from Armando. Predictions that I can't really disagree with either. But be sure to check back with us. There's some big news in the boxing world. Everybody wants to talk about the newly signed, just yesterday, Floyd Mayweather versus Miguel Cotto on May 5th at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Now, you guys know I'm a Cotto apologist, but I truly believe that since this fight has apparently been agreed upon at a weight of 154 pounds, there are going to be some interesting storylines around this bout that maybe Floyd Mayweather's in deeper than he's been at this point in his career. And I want you guys to check back episode 40 to find out why I think that.
Yeah, David, episode 40 is going to be wild. As he said, this is 39 and a half. Next week, we're going to talk about that Cotto-Mayweather fight. Like you said, it could be interesting because it's 154. I'm probably going to totally disagree with you in that regard. I think it'll be a Mayweather win. But you know what? I'll talk more about it More about it next week. When in episode 40 of Boxing During Dinner, like I said, we'll talk more about Angelo Dundee. We'll recap this weekend's fight. We'll also talk about the Mayweather Cotto fight for May. And also by then we might have an official fight signed between Manny Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley, hopefully. And also rumors of Brandon Rios against Yuriorkis Gamboa. That fight's blowing my mind, and I'll tell you what we think about it next week. Episode 40. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at BoxDuringDinner. Also, our website, boxingduringdinner.com, and on Facebook. Just takes a second. Just go to Facebook, go to the Boxing During Dinner page, click like. And you know what? You never know. We might become best friends. You might be on the show with us. Big things coming for Boxing During Dinner. Watch episode 40 next week.